Hi guys, welcome to a new series, North Node in Leo. I'm wearing my golden blouse today because Leo is gold, Leo is the sun, Leo is shiny. So Leo is, here to be noticed. So before we dive into North Node in Leo, let's talk about your South Node in Aquarius. And here's how I understand South Node in Aquarius. There's two manifestations to it. That's how I see it. One, overall, I would say Aquarian South Node, you guys are my humanitarians. You guys have had lifetimes where you were very deeply involved with the society you were in, with humanity. You're always looking how to make life good for everybody. I mean, everybody. You're very inclusive. You're very, very friendly. You're always, you never, I don't want to say judged anybody, but you were very inclusive and you always had ideas, big ideas. The beauty of Aquarius is that you have these eccentric ideas about how to maybe invent with something. You guys are my inventors. You guys are the ones that came up with things that made our lives easier. So you're very intertwined with the idea of humanity, with the idea of Earth, with the idea of, groups. Wherever you were, wherever there was a lot of people, you were always like, okay, what can we do so that everybody benefits? The key was that everybody, not somebody, not one, but all of us, everybody. That's the idea with Aquarius. So you guys are, like I said, you have a deep caring for humans. You have a deep love for them. But the downfall of that is that because you have so many lifetimes that you invested in humans and you basically lost yourself in order to contribute to humans, wherever you were, you always kind of put yourself on the back burner and said, okay, forget about me, forget about my desires. Let me see, how can we all benefit? What can I do to make the group better? Because the group is counting on me, So part of you could be that because you were so intertwined, part of you now maybe hates humans. You really do. You're probably getting very triggered by what's going on now. Like you're very triggered about Mother Earth, about the oceans, about the politics, about everything where there's division and there's abuse and then there's all that craziness. You get really triggered by that to the point where it makes you hate humans. The very people that you love, at the same time you hate them because you don't understand why can't they see what needs to be done so we can all be happy on this earth, so we don't destroy ourselves or whatever. So that's how you see it. When I said there's two manifestations with Aquarius South Node, one is that because you were so enmeshed with humanity and groups and all that, the negative part about that could be a dystopian society. I love dystopian societies. They're scary, but they're beautiful the way they're structured, because the structure in there and this group thing of like what's good for the group, individualism is frowned upon. If you don't know what a dystopian society is, there's many movies about it. One of them, the series Handmaid's Tale, that's an example of a dystopian society. Fahrenheit 451. There's many other ones, but basically it's a society where the group thing and the benefit of it outweigh individualism, to where nobody shines, nobody is out there. And if you are out there, you more than likely get punished because you are threatening the existence of the group. They make you think that if we don't do this, this, and this, and this, we're going to collapse. We're going to destroy ourselves. So anytime somebody tries to get out of bounds, they either get killed, get punished, or destroyed, whatever. And then they make an example out of them to the rest of the society to reinforce it. So you with Aquarius South Nodes, it's in you, that dystopian society idea that, hey, there's rules. There's some rules that humans need to follow. And you probably are very set in how things need to be, how humans need to be. You're very set in what's right, what's wrong, what's moral, what's immoral. Aquarius, in a dystopian society, there wasn't a lot of feeling. There isn't a lot of emotions. It's all kind of subdued, suppressed, and shut down, because emotional outbursts will lead to the destruction of our society. And if we want to exist here, we need to maintain that, even idea. So you get the point. So you, with dystopian societies, you carry that in you as an Aquarius South Node of like the group is always outweighing individual. The Soviet Union is a great example, where individuality is not encouraged. It's seen as a threat. The United States is more individualistic. So that's one manifestation, one negative idea of Aquarius South Node. So to this day, you could be very critical. You could be very critical about how things need to be, what needs to be done, because you're always thinking about the group. In your mind, there's that belief, limiting belief that, the group, how can, humans, wherever you are, you always kind of see everything as a group, as a structure, as a society, and you're like, this would be a threat to it. You're too loud. You are asking for too much attention. You need to tone it down. We all need to be even keel. Another manifestation of Aquarius South Node could be that you did not get lost in groups. You were actually kicked out of groups because you did not buy into the idea of it. So you kind of isolated yourself. Back in the day, I would say my astrologers, whoever was, because Aquarius is intuitive in a sense. They get those brilliant ideas of that, information highway. They're so tuned to it. So maybe the ideas that you had were very threatening, once again, to the group. So you, instead of suppressing that within you and staying with the group, you said, fuck you guys, I'm out. And you kind of became that loner. So inside of you, there is that feeling of a loner, of like, I don't fit in here. And part of you guys, because, back in the day, they used to burn all the esoteric people, they used to burn the witches, they used to burn the forest people, whoever was putting information out there that was not, with the status quo, they were destroyed. Once again, they were, because the status quo had to be maintained. So you have those memories of being looked down on, of being kicked out of the tribe for being you, for being, unique, for believing what you believe. But you were brave enough to say, I believe this and I'm going to follow this. But it led you to a life of loneliness. It led you to a life of disconnection. It led you to a life of saying, you petty fucking humans, you don't understand, you don't see it. You're sitting there, all you're thinking about is food and sex and consumption, but you don't understand the bigger picture. So you kind of isolated yourself. You kind of put that barrier between you and other humans, and you spend a lot of time alone. So you have that in you, that strength of like separating yourself from all the craziness. But at the same time, there's a loneliness in you. There's a loneliness that's like, gosh, I kind of would love to be, over there and interacting with those people. I would love to be more simple. I would love to just kind of take part in games and fun and stuff. But you were kicked away from the group, burned at the stakes, and you almost inside of you, there's a fear of like expressing yourself in a sense, of going against the grain again. Well, now with North Node in Leo, you guys are here to kind of forget about the group in all its manifestations, to forget about freaking humans, to forget about Mother Earth. Don't worry about Mother Earth. Don't worry about the whales. Everything is going according to plan. You are here to focus on yourself. You're here to be totally individualistic. And with North Node in Leo, you're here to shine. You're here to be beautiful and bright and just expressive and playful and loud. You can be the loudest one in the room. You cannot be shy. You cannot be behind the curtains looking at the stage and saying, man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could dance my heart out. Because inside of you, there is a huge desire to express. There's a huge desire to show the world how beautiful you are. Not to teach the world of what they need to do to make this a better place. Forget about that. Because the more you do that, the more you're going to hate humans and the angrier you're going to get. So if you want to really change this world, you freaking light up your world with your North Node in Leo. You shine bright. And then people will see you and you will impact them that way. Not the other way of trying to teach them what's wrong and what's right and how we should do this and stuff. No, you're going to get more frustrated and you're going to hate them. So get away from that. Focus on you. Be selfish. And then you'll see how things change. Okay? Now let's go deeper in each house and see what we're working with. North Node in Leo in the 9th house. So before we dive into that, let's talk about South Node in Aquarius in the 3rd house. What does that mean? Well, you guys are my cray-cray thinkers. You guys are my crazy scientists. I always use the words of mad scientist when I refer to Aquarius, because in the South Node, that would be a key description of you guys, mad scientists. So in the 3rd house, Aquarius, quirky, crazy ideas, crazy way of speech. You guys are probably, when you get somewhere and you're talking to people, people probably go, wow, where does this guy get this information? You have a very cool way of presenting your thoughts. you have a very unique way of presenting your thoughts. And people either listen to you with their mouths open, or they can't understand what the hell, what is this guy talking about? He's lunatic, he's crazy. I guarantee you people a lot of times told you, you're nuts. I can't believe you said that. So a lot of people will push you away because they'll think that you're just nuts. You know, it's too out of their comfort zone. A lot of people won't understand you, but a lot of people, they love the way you present your ideas because you have really cool, creative, unique ideas. You have a mind for genius. You have a mind for these flashes of insight that come in, you know, for just crazy ideas. And you probably have no problem expressing them, because South Node in Aquarius means that you went crazy with your ideas, and you probably you got obsessed with your ideas. You thought you were the only one that's right, and the crazier the better. And that's what gave you life. You know, you build your little comfort zone on your thoughts, your ideas, your philosophies about life, your interactions with people in general, like the way you communicate. You probably wrote books, you probably wrote different papers, you probably were some kind of scientist, somebody who had a very ahead of your time idea about a life, about things, about Charles Darwin could be somebody like that, somebody who was ahead of their time, and somebody who really shook things up, really created chaos maybe with their ideas, maybe revolutionized something with your ideas. And so you pride yourself on that. So I would say you, it could be probably hard to interact with you because you're so set in your ways. Anytime there's a South Node in the 3rd or the 9th house, there's usually a very stubbornness about the way you think. And usually it alienates people from you. You kind of push people away because you become too much about a certain idea. And you could be somebody who gets so lost in that idea and so logical and so, fact driven that you will miss a lot of ideas. You'll miss a lot of points along the way because you're so set in the way you think. The stubbornness is there. South Node in the 3rd with Aquarius is there. With Aquarius there is guaranteed stubbornness in the way you see things. And probably nobody can prove you wrong unless they can provide logical arguments that are based on figures that will maybe overthrow your idea. But in your mind, it's impossible because you think you're the smartest one. You think that that there's nobody like you. You could come out as pretty brash too. Maybe you were very sarcastic in the way you spoke. Maybe you would say things sometimes and people would say, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe that's so uncouth of you to say that. And you don't care. You really don't care. You love that. You love to shock people with the way you think. You love to shock them with your observations. And that's the beauty of you. South Node in Aquarius, you're that mad scientist, and there's a place for you in this world, But because it's in the South Node, you've overdone that. You've done it so many lifetimes where you completely went the route of logical, completely went the route of getting lost in those, in your mind, in your scientific mind, in your technological mind, and you missed a lot of things along the way. You missed, life is not just about technology. Life is not just about facts and figures and logic. Life is so much more. So with the North Node in Leo in the 9th, you're being called to open yourself up to the beauty of life, to expand your world, to because even though you think you know everything, and you do, you're very smart. Aquarius in the 3rd, you're very cool thinking individual. You have probably a crazy IQ, or you just know a little bit about everything, and you're always blurting things out. Even though you know everything, your world is small because your world is logical. Anytime you put logic and limitation on something, actually, anytime you put logic on something, you put a limitation on it. And if you put a limitation on it, you will never see the beauty of it, because things are here to be understood on more than logical way, in more than one way. And one of those ways is with your heart. And I say that a lot, with the Leo North Nodes. I keep saying, open your heart, connect to your heart, listen to your heart. Well, what does that mean? That means that you don't listen to your mind, like truly. Anything that is cold, is calculating, anything that's scared probably, that's dogmatic, you don't listen to that. You listen to the one, the crazy one that's inside of you that says, yeah, we should do that. Yeah, we should try that. Yeah, this looks like fun. You're here to find what's fun. Leo loves to have fun. Leo is fire. Leo loves to explore. And Leo is not shy. Leo doesn't care about what people are going to think about him. Leo is just that eternal youthful child inside every one of us. And when he comes out, it's a beautiful sight. And we all have that inside of us. So anytime you have somebody has Leo planets or Leo, you are encouraged to bring out the child within you. That's what Leos do to all of us. You know, they encourage to bring that playful part of us. But you have to get playful first and foremost, because before you become playful, nobody around you is going to be playful. And more than likely, if you did see somebody who's playful and happy-go-lucky and just like, oh, I trust the universe, I'm going to get everything I need, you probably thought they were crazy. Even though you're the crazy scientist, but you thought they were crazy because they had no empirical data to support anything. They were just all over the place. They had no structure. And you're like, I can't believe that this idiot is even like alive still. Well, the beauty of that idiot that you're trying to become is to accept that you don't know everything, to accept that there's a bigger world out there, to accept that there's beauty in everything, to accept that the mind cannot comprehend everything, that not everything can be numbers and facts, that it's okay if you're not being revolutionary in some way. It's okay if you're not benefiting humanity in some way. Because Aquarius will always want to do that. Aquarius will always make progressive ideas their driving force. Aquarius will always say, we have to keep going forward, we have to explore. But in your case, I would say, forget about humanity, forget about empirical data, and go have fun. And in the 9th house, you're here to have fun on a large scale. You know, you're here to travel, you're here to get out of your comfort zone, of your little environment. You're here to, let's say you're always reading some kind of scientific journals, or you're always reading some kind of data, and you're always collecting data. Because I guarantee you, your mind is so trained to be logical that you have a hard time perceiving the non-logical. So if you're always reading articles about charts and graphs, and if that's all you need to be happy, then I challenge you, with the North Node in Leo in the 9th, is to freaking explore and maybe pick up a travel magazine, maybe pick up a magazine that has to do with what's Leo? What would be Leo themes? You know, games, sports, anything that will take you out of that logical mind. So that's the key for you, is anytime you have that pull for something that is, you know, quantifiable, quantity, get away from that. You know, you need to push past your mind. You need to say, I know everything, but I don't know everything. And there's a big world out there. And that exploration pertains to traveling, other cultures, other countries, you know, religions, philosophy. It's the same freaking words with the 9th house. It's like the big picture, the universe. And then as a Leo there, you're there to be, you know, to be playful with it, to play. Wherever you go, you're encouraged to freaking play. So literally, whenever you approach something and your mind tells you this is stupid, we're gonna look so stupid doing this, you have to do it. Literally, as a Leo, you have to have no problem making a clown out of yourself. Leo is never shy. Leo is never embarrassed. Leo just is. And Leo says, if you want to have fun, come with me. If you don't, then stay there in your boring, you know, life. So yeah, bring out the child inside. Spend time with kids. Anytime you can be around kids, anytime you can be around nonsense, anytime you can be around a fairy tale, something that takes you away from the logical, you will benefit greatly. You'll discover a whole different world. Like, you know what came to my mind? Narnia. Even though I never saw the movie, but I had that idea. Like, get in this freaking closet, go and explore another world that's based on fairy tales, that's based on, like Alice in Wonderland, you know, just, you need to go down these rabbit holes and explore and see and play. And anytime there's an invitation for you to just not be so serious, not be so logical, but to play and be silly and even stupid, you need to take that. And the more you do it, the more comfortable it's going to become. And you'll see, you're going to set yourself free, and you're going to be so much fun to be around. Okay? All right.